Thank you for being part of our broadcast. I know the Sphere of Grace has been of tremendous blessing to you. I love to hear from you. Send in your questions, your prayer requests, and testimonies to the address on the screen. I would love to respond to them personally. God bless you. Welcome to the Sphere of Grace. I'm Pastor Segun Obadje. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless you. This week is a wonderful week, and we're considering the power of a vow. How to turn your life around, engaging the power of a vow. You know, God can get you out of trouble by a vow. It's very important you understand that. And we've seen this in Psalm 66, all right, and verse 12. It says, "You have caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, but you brought us out to a rich place." That's a rich fulfillment. It says, "I will go into your house with burnt offerings. I will pay you my vows." And then it says in verse 14, "Which my lips have uttered and my mouth has spoken when I was in trouble." So when he was in trouble, he made a vow to God. Why did he make that vow to God? Now, he made that vow to God because he wanted God to get him out of that trouble. Now, God didn't put him in trouble. You know, things happen in life by omission and or commission, you know, and we find ourselves in some situations, but listen very carefully. We don't have to think backwards. We have to think forward. And how do you think forward? How do you get out of it? Now, getting out of a miry clay, a messy situation, all right, requires a vow. When you make a vow to God, God will use that power of a vow to get you out. You know, something profound happened. You know, God sent Prophet Jonah to Nineveh to preach the gospel to them so they could come out of sinfulness and repent and be saved. But Prophet Jonah went to Tarshish. And on his way there, you know, God sent a wild wind against the ship and eventually was thrown into the sea. And God had prepared a fish to swallow him up there. And the Bible tells us that the fish swallowed him up and brought him to the shore of Nineveh. Now, before he got there, Jonah began to pray to God. He prayed, he made intercessions, and nothing happened until he made a vow. The Bible tells us in Jonah chapter 2 and verse 8, it says, "They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy." And then verse 9 tells us, it says, "But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay that I have vowed." Salvation is of the Lord. That the very moment he said, "I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving and I will pay my vow," when he was done saying that, and then he ascribed salvation to the Lord, the Bible tells us in verse 10, "And the Lord spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land." Now, listen very carefully. When he made a vow to God, you know, being in the belly of a fish is a very terrible situation. But by the power of a vow, God commanded the fish to vomit him upon the dry land. Listen very carefully. No matter what you are in the belly of a fish or in a messy situation or in a miry clay, by the power of a vow, you can be delivered from it. You know, David was delivered from that miry clay, that trouble, by the power of a vow. And Jonah also was delivered from the belly of a fish by the power of a vow. So listen very carefully. It's a powerful tool that I want you to see. All through the Bible, you see people making vows to the Lord. And why did they do that? Because they wanted to commit God to their lives so they could commit also to God according to their vow. So praise waits for God in Zion, the holy hill of God where he dwells, and unto him shall the vow be performed. So God is waiting to allow you perform the vow, so he commits himself to making sure that you enter into that which you desired according to your vow. And that's so profound. I believe you've been blessed today. Until I come your way again tomorrow, keep living and basking in the sphere of grace. I love you, and God bless you.